welcome to Boca Behind the Scenes, a get-to-know-you podcast where we get to chat with city staff about initiatives, programs, and events that are happening right here in our community. And on this podcast, we are talking some trash. So with me today, I have Zach Bihr, our new Municipal Services Director. Zach, thanks for being here.
Thank you so much. Happy to be here today.
And then we have Leroy Austin, Sanitation Supervisor. Thank you for being here, Leroy.
Happy to be here.
And lastly, we have Tony Remige, our Fleet Superintendent. So thank you so much for being here as well.
Thank you very much.
All right, so the reason we are having this discussion, the city just approved their budget, and they decided to recommit to keeping sanitation services in-house. And that's because we have some of the best staff members here, employees. Our residents love our sanitation department. So we want to provide them with a little bit of information about new upgrades, maybe new trucks that they'll be seeing, and some additional information on how they could make your jobs a lot easier when it comes to their garbage. So first of all, if you guys could just give me a brief introduction about what you all do.
Sure, starting with Zach Bihr, the new Municipal Services Director, on for a whole month now. So overseeing the department, Municipal Services Department, which I'm extremely proud about. It's a very big task with a lot of different divisions doing a lot of different amazing behind-the-scenes function within the city. And my tagline I like to use is, we know we're doing a great job if we don't hear anything from the residents. And if we do hear from the residents, we try and respond immediately and get that taken care of. So Municipal Services includes our fantastic sanitation department, supported by Fleet, and that's maintaining all the city vehicles, the city's traffic, engineering and surveying, coastal management, and facilities.
Awesome. Mr. Leroy?
Hello, my name is Leroy Austin. I'm Sanitation Supervisor, and glad to be here today. We are in a position now that we are getting new vehicles and everything to help us provide the trash and vegetation pickup that we need, and we greatly appreciate the city for giving us the opportunity to serve them.
Awesome.
Very good. My name is Tony Remige. I'm the Fleet Superintendent, and I maintain a garage at the Municipal Services. Currently, we have a staff of roughly 17. We actually maintain over 1,000 units, and within those 1,000 units is our sanitation fleet, which consists of roughly 40 vehicles. Our staff that we have that maintains vehicles are ASC certified and hold all the credentials that they need to maintain garbage trucks.
And I would just like to add really quick, it is an award-winning fleet division and a world-class sanitation division that is beloved by city residents. So a minute for me to promote the divisions.
Awesome. So in the sanitation department, or division, I should say, how many employees, how many trucks, how many residents do you guys serve?
So as far as estimates, there's between 48 and 52 sanitation employees. There's some open positions, so if anybody's interested, the city is actively looking for excited and energetic drivers and operators, qualified operators, to come and join the city's team. And the overall sanitation fleet, I think Tony mentioned, how many vehicles is that?
Over 1,000. It's actually 1,048. I know because I pulled that number yesterday.
Yeah. So
and how many sanitation trucks?
Roughly 40. Yeah.
And that includes, not to use the jargon, but front loaders. So that's the truck that picks up the solid waste dumpsters, and then rear loaders, which is your classic garbage truck. And the city also employs a side loader, which is a truck that drives down the street that you may have seen, where the arm actually comes out and picks up the garbage can, which I think we're going to talk about a little bit more. And then I think one of the most important parts of Boca, because it's a city within a park, it's a beautiful city with a lot of landscaping, and so to support that, our sanitation division picks up a lot of vegetative and bulk debris. So we have vehicles and equipment with pickers to be able to do that.
And Leroy, what does a day in the life of a sanitation collector driver look like?
The day is, average day is 7 o'clock in the morning, and it's until, because we run on a task, and when your task is over with, basically that's when we'll see if anybody else need any help, and then everybody's great. Then it could be 3 o'clock that day, and the next day it could be 7.
Okay.
Because different areas and different areas that you go in on a daily basis is different, certain amount of bulk, a certain amount of garbage. And like I say, back before we had trucks that would really getting the job done. So now we got new trucks that's one problem that we don't have to worry about. So we thank the city for providing us with those trucks.
Now something that we, as far as the sanitation division and a culture, you guys are big on teamwork.
Yes, sir.
So if you're done with your route, do you cut out for the day and just say goodbye to everybody else out there working hard?
No, sir. We want to make sure that everybody is getting off at a reasonable time. If we can go out and help someone get finished, and that's what we do.
And then when you're done, do you just get to park the truck in Municipal Services after a hot day out driving the truck, or what's the end look like?
No, you have to make sure that you wash your truck out and get it all situated, gassed up, and everything for the next day.
Yeah.
It's ongoing.
Tough job.
Yes.
And what's the best part about your job? What do you enjoy the most?
It's the resident, really, because you get some really great resident out there when you go pick up their garbage. They're out there with a smile, with the kids waving at you, and that just show you're doing something great.
Do you have some kids that come up to you to say hello, or
Yes.
residents that you have close relationships with over the years?
We have them in different areas. Everybody have their different residents. We come up and may give them a water every now and then and tell them they're doing a great job. So, like I say, we greatly appreciate the resident of the city of Boca.
Awesome. So then when these garbage trucks get back to, the fleet, how do you guys, I guess, manage them or maintain them?
Well, our schedule for maintaining garbage trucks is actually on Wednesday. That's devoted only for garbage trucks. And we take odd number trucks one week, and then the following week we take even number trucks. And that maintains a good schedule on keeping the PMs, or the preventive maintenance on the trucks, in good service. However, there are very many moving parts on a garbage truck.
Yeah,
and
massive.
yes, and they tend to break down often,
Okay.
develop leaks and things of that nature. So we are, of course, open throughout the day. We're actually open from 7 to 7, and we do what we have to do to keep them on the road.
And recently, they've been replaced and upgraded?
Yes. Our fleet, trucks we're getting in the 10-year age bracket. We tend to like to replace them like every 6 or 7 years. So there was a lot of wear and tear on the vehicles. So recently we purchased, it was 10 side loaders and also recycle trucks. We have 4 recycle trucks coming also.
Awesome.
So.
And sorry. Is it difficult to drive these monstrosities of trucks and operate them? And
It's not that difficult. It's difficult if you never drove a truck, but the guys that work there, it's no problem for them. Everybody knows how the truck runs, and everybody is very comfortable in them.
And I can tell you, I can jump in and got excited because I went down when the guys were training on the new trucks and got the opportunity to sit in one and turn back into a 5-year-old. But when you're looking at the truck, it looks like a fighter jet cockpit. There's buttons and levers and things everywhere. So the guys make it look easy, but it is quite a craft and a skill to be able to maneuver and make sure they're checking their mirrors and keeping the other residents safe where they're out on the road. And I've even seen, just as a moment to promote a message, when you're behind the sanitation guys' trucks and they're stopping and they're doing their work, take a minute and think about the hard work that they're doing and that overall traffic safety around the city, to understand that they're out trying to do. On average, their routes, they're picking up about 1,500 units.
Yeah.
So stopping 1,500 times a day. Also in between that, going up to the waste station to dispose of the garbage and coming back. So they're on tight schedules and they're working as hard as they can for the city.
And speaking of channeling your inner 5-year-old self, I know you guys too participate in Touch a Truck, you know, and being in the community, and also sanitation trucks are used at city events for safety purposes. So, you know, what is it like, I guess, having different parts of being within the community in that aspect as well?
Well, in Touch a Truck it's a great event because you bring out a lot of kids, and you know the kids want to see the trucks. They want to see how everything works on the truck. So I know this past year was a great outcome on it, and the kids really love it. And for the trucks for the holiday different events that comes up, we usually bring out our biggest trucks that we got to block all the different roads and to make sure the city is safe during that time.
That's awesome. So in addition to these new trucks or updated trucks, what are other enhancements or upgrades that the division is getting as a whole?
So really quick, I'll let Tony talk about that, but that's where I geek out and get excited from my perspective of some of the new technologies.
Yeah, so one of the newest technologies we're having placed in the trucks is a live video feed. So we'll be able to not only see the driver in action, but we'll be able to watch through the front of the windshield and also all around the truck. So we'll be able to see what's going on.
Very cool.
Yep.
Yeah, and it adds a whole lot from both the sanitation perspective and the fleet perspective because it's on the front end and on the back end. So it really helps the drivers get better at what they're doing. And then there's also a GPS component and some other mechanical components. So if a driver's braking hard or takes some hard turns or other things that might wear on the vehicle, it would identify that, and it gives us an opportunity to kind of talk to them and just provide a longer life of a truck that keeps the trucks on the road, that provides that service for the residents.
And speaking of service for residents, I know that obviously customer service is such a priority for any and every department within the city. But specifically with the sanitation department, you know, there's people dedicated to answering customers and residents' questions. So can you talk about the customer service piece of sanitation and how it differs from other cities?
Absolutely, and I can tell you, which was cool from my perspective, because as I took on the job, I got to go to the different divisions and interview everybody to kind of get up to speed. And I asked at the end of my interview with one of the administrative staff in sanitation, I said, what are your challenges? If you give me 2 challenges of what you deal with, something that we could work on, can you provide those? And she said, no, I can't give you challenges because every day I have to get up and I have to make sure that all the sanitation within the city gets picked up. So I don't see challenges. I just see a job that has to get done. So that's when you're in different modes and different mindsets. Every day they wake up and have to come in and do their best. And I've seen it. When they get calls, they'll go back out, and if residents do late, you know, they take their garbage out late, or if they have other bulk or other items, our sanitation division really does a world-class job of coordinating with the residents and making sure they'll go back.
And they always, when they call, they're not talking to, you know, an automated message. They're actually talking to real live people.
That's correct, yes.
So this is the fun part. So I actually called Dana and Ratilda, who are the ladies behind the phones, who are constantly taking these phone calls. And I asked them to give me the top 10 questions that people get, or that they get from residents. So the first one is, what are my collection days? So how can people, other than, you know, talking to them or calling them, what are other ways that they can find out what their collection days are?
Certainly. So the city provides or will be providing a brochure, which they do annually, which has both a map of the city and the collection days. And then they can also look on the city's website, or if need be, again, if there's any confusion about it, they can call city staff and we'll be happy to walk through it with them. And that's something I think to point out is even as we move forward and look at route optimization and some other ways to improve sanitation, staff really understands and respects that people like their day when they take their garbage out to the curb and are familiar with it. So as we look at all those things, we're going to try and take that into consideration and know to make that a part of how we look at the update.
Very cool. And Leroy, you could probably answer this, but what items are acceptable for me to include with my trash? So, when it comes to bulk and vegetation and all that, what are items that are acceptable?
Well, for garbage, we accept any kind of garbage that you will have. But we have most people want to put wood in the garbage can instead of putting the wood on the ground. Wood is not acceptable. And for vegetation and your bulk, we would like everybody to separate it. And that's one of the biggest problems that we have. We'll get a call and say, they didn't pick up my bulk, but you got it mixed all up with your vegetation.
Okay.
So we're not going to pick it up that way. And we have, then dealing with the garbage can, the biggest thing is mailbox. Everybody want to put the garbage can by the mailbox. It's got to be 5 to 7 feet from the mailbox in your recycle bin where the truck can easily pick it up.
And what are some other reasons why you might not pick up people's trash?
Some of the reasons, if some of the branches are too long and some of the stumps are too wide, that's one of the reasons why we want to pick it up. Or something that's dealing with a tree or a line that they set up under the guys could not get the boom off the truck. That's one of the reasons.
So we got to let everybody know to separate everything, and then all that information too is on our website, so you could find out where to put everything and what items can go where. Next question: if I have damages to my container, how do I get a new one?
So with that, you can reach out to the city with the direct line if you look on the website, and that request goes into both of our great administrative staff, and I believe the deliveries happen on Wednesdays. And so they can either, for their recycling bins, they can come directly to the city Municipal Services. There's a phone at the front desk that they can call and someone will help them. And again, with the garbage cans, that's just a phone call to the city. We can arrange to deliver a new garbage can.
And last question, or I guess that kind of, you just answered that. How do I get a recycling bin if I don't have one?
Yep, certainly. You can come into the city, and staff will be happy to help make that happen.
Awesome. So Leroy, I have a question for you actually. What can residents, or what advice can you give residents to make your jobs easier when collecting their trash?
Well, in order to make it easy for us when we're collecting is, like I said before, for as where they put it, for it's not up on the tree or wire, and then for their vehicles, they like to park their vehicle right on top of their pile, and then they'll call and say, we didn't pick up the pile. So that's some of the calls that we get for that. But on a daily basis, that's basically what goes on for us, why we will not pick up the stuff that we can't get, because it's cars. Then you got other people out there for us working for us, the lawn service. They're one of the, everybody's working.
Yeah.
They don't realize that they done block garbage can, recycle bin, vegetation on bulk. So with the resident, we're hoping the resident help us out in making sure that the guys pull up enough for we'll be able to pick up their stuff when we come out the first time.
Well, you guys heard it here first. But lastly, we spoke about, I think earlier, about adding additional staff to the sanitation department as well to ensure that we are continuing to provide that world-class service to our residents. So included in that staff is a sanitation superintendent, and additional sanitation collectors and drivers. So, from both of your perspectives, what, I guess, what kind of people are you looking for? What kind of characteristics should they have, and why should somebody come and apply to work for the City of Boca Sanitation Department?
Well, I can start that, and the baseline is how long have you been with the city?
17 years.
17 years, and that was one of the coolest things when I started, is going around and seeing just how long. Tony, how long you been with the city?
Just short of 15.
So 15. So when you hear that number and you understand the difference, and working as a public servant and that customer service aspect, we look for people who really want to develop a relationship with the residents. They see them every week. They're out. Sanitation is one of our most visible divisions that is out interacting with the residents. So we look for guys with really good attitudes and a willingness to serve the public, and they work hard. They work hard out there. So having that can-do attitude to go out and get the job done, and especially having your CDL license and being appropriately licensed to operate the equipment is a big benefit to come and work for the great city of Boca Raton.
Leroy, you want to add anything?
Well, I'd just like to add that the city of Boca is a great city to work for. If you want a job with benefits and everything, and you're willing to work, it's hard work, but it pays off at the end.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for being on the show today. For any additional information, you can always visit our website at myboca.us, or obviously, like we mentioned, you can call the sanitation department directly with any questions that you may have. So thank you guys for everything and all your hard work, and thanks for tuning in.